Todd, why don't we start with Tyler Reddick in that 45 car? No surprise, right from the get-go on Saturday, they had a very fast race car in practice. They went out there and qualified 8th. But why in the world do we see him starting all the way back here at the rear? Well, what happened, they passed inspection on trip number 1 before practice and qualifying, but they made an adjustment, a very unapproved adjustment to the 45 car. They failed the second time through inspection, finally passed on the third. They lost their car chief, they lost pit selection, they had to start at the rear of the field, and they had to do a pass-through penalty at the drop of the green flag.
And I understood right after this pass-through penalty because he joined back up right in front of Ty Gibbs, who was the leader of the race, and he drove away from him.
He was in clean air, but he had a fast car.
At that point, I knew he had a contending car. He just needed to figure out how to get himself there.
He could run the bottom, he could run the middle, and he could run the top. And where he was Johnny on the spot was on those restarts, Todd.
Yeah, if you look at this restart right here after stage 1, an impressive jump up there in position.
You'll see right here, this is a restart, and watch him. He'll move all the way up against the wall, which we know he loves running the wall. But look at, I mean, he looks like he's got about 50 more horsepower than those guys, getting that momentum on the top side, coming on the back stretch. He would have got more, but he was boxed in right there.
Yeah, definitely. But just continues the motion forward. Really impressive drive here. He did a good job. He went where he could. He had a car that had speed in different places, definitely made moves and forward. Drove himself up to 4th. I feel like he would have been one of the contenders if we'd run this race to the 600-mile mark.
And you talked about him going where other people weren't. Now he's at the bottom of the racetrack. He has taken advantage of wherever that 45 car will let him go because Billy Scott gave him a very good handling race car.
Another one that got a really good race car, Cliff Daniels, set up, was set for Kyle Larson to come in. Kyle ran the Indianapolis 500. Justin Allgaier jumps in the 5 car, hasn't run a lap in that car, hasn't really run a whole lot of laps in Cup cars. A great run forward.
2 weeks in a row, Cliff Daniels had one driver in the car for practice and qualifying and another driver in the car when the green flag flew on the race.
Yeah, just backwards this time. But it started the race deep in the field, but really impressive run forward to a 13th place finish.
What I really feel like Cliff Daniels did, I think he knew that Justin needed that car nice and snug. He needed it to be tight and secure. And honestly, shortly after that race started, as we closed in on the end of stage 1, that racetrack loosened up. And I think that's why the lap times got so good on that 5 car, because everybody else was starting to trend to the loose side.
I want to look back at this area here. Just before we got to the caution there at lap 85 or 6 there, the 5 car had gone a lap down.
Right.
And Justin drove his way back to the lead lap, passing the race leader at that point, his teammate, William Byron.
He just got better as the night went on. And I love what he told Cliff Daniels. He said, when Kyle gets in this race car, he's going to be so fast.
Yeah, he really enjoyed that opportunity and drove his way back to the lead lap. That put him in a good position because when the caution came out, he didn't have to take the wave around. Really did some really good things. A good day for those guys. A 13th place finish with a guy that hadn't turned laps in the car. I think a successful day.